My name is Noel Malanda. I am the director of Hybrid Chicks and Agriventures. Hybrid Chicks was initially an entity that specializes in poultry farming. But looking at poultry in itself, you find that there are many products and produces that come from poultry that could be used in other forms and in other areas, and that's why we expanded and thought of coming up with a company that does not just think about chicken or chicks, but thinks about agriculture as a venture. So basically we are an agribusiness out to make some profit, and apart from that, to make an impact in society. When I started poultry farming, I basically used to rely on infrared bulbs because they are less of a hassle, and I guess I'm someone who doesn't like hustling a lot. But at times I could chip in charcoal and the LPG gas. But doing the maths, I found that this was a very expensive way of getting energy. And at some point, when I started poultry, I had to look for a way of disposing my chicken waste, because initially I was doing around over 1,500 layers, and this brought out quite a substantial amount of waste that could not easily be retained in my piece of land, because the whole piece of land where we've settled and where we are doing our farming is 1 acre. So we used to dig a hole after another to be able to contain that waste. But eventually, because of networks and because of discussing as farmers and talking to various people with different expertise, biogas was one of the solutions. So actually, biogas was a way to see how to dispose of that waste. And when we started, it was just for cooking. But through networks, I realized that we could also use biogas for brooding. One thing I did, or we did as a farm, was to get a specialist in biogas installations and explain to this person our expectations in terms of what we want to use that biogas for. And this person was able to come up with a size that could be able to enable us do all these things when we feed it with the right amounts of the waste. And by the way, mostly we use chicken waste, and a few times we use pig waste. The initial cost could be slightly expensive, but if you look at the gains you get out of biogas after you've installed it, after you've done the right sizing using the technicians, the specialists, and you've installed it to fit your needs, I would say that biogas becomes very easy on the pocket and it becomes very convenient to use. At the strike of a matchbox, you're able to get your fire. At the strike of the matchbox, you're able to get your heat. And for those who use it for lighting, you're able to get your light. Today, when we were creating this clip, our day-old chicks had not come in. But for purposes of demonstration, I'm just going to describe how the biogas plant works. First, we have a mixing chamber, and in this chamber, we pour in the chicken waste. After pouring in the chicken waste, we stir in water. We stir in water to a level where the consistency is porridge-like. Then in that mixing chamber, there is a tunnel that connects the mixing chamber to the biodigester. The biodigester is a cylindrical in nature. That is spherical in nature down there, but as it comes up, it becomes a dome. The biodigester is sealed up, and then it has a pipe that brings out the gas. So in the biodigester, the waste I believe it goes through an anaerobic process, which now removes the gas from the waste, and it is this gas that rises into the dome-shaped structure on the dome-shaped area of that biodigester, and it is channeled out through a pipe and distributed to various places for purposes of providing gas. One place where we take this biogas is channeled is into the chicken house that we keep in, broilers especially, and even where we brood chicks normally. We have various outlets in our brooding houses. So what happens is the gas is channeled into those houses, and when it gets to that point, there is a knob, and on this knob we attach the gas pipe, and it is attached to our biogas brooder, and we light the knob and light the biogas. We use that knob to control heat depending on the intensity we have, because when chicks are still tiny, when they are still 1 day or so, they need more heat as compared to when they are 2 weeks and 3 weeks. The more they grow, the lesser heat they get. When the gas has been extracted from that chicken waste, what remains is called bioslurry. In our biogas plant, the expulsion chamber is situated on top of the biodigester. So the used up bioslurry, or rather the bioslurry, is expelled into the expulsion chamber, and that is where we usually take our bioslurry and use it for farming purposes. This is the slaughterhouse, and here in the slaughterhouse we have a pipe that has been channeled here, where we've attached it to a burner. We use this burner to warm water, to heat water that is used to put in the broilers before we can defeather them. We have a shade that is covered and that allows in light and warmth, where we dry our manure. After it's dried, we pack it in sacks and we sell it. Apart from selling, we use quite a considerable amount of this manure to plant our vegetables. So actually, if you look at the benefits of this biogas, it supersedes the initial installation costs and the little maintenance costs that we incur when we are using this biogas. One major setback in using biogas is at times when there is a fault, a maintenance issue that needs to be taken care of. You are not able to take care of it promptly. Why? Because the number of people who have the know-how in our biogas installations are very limited, and yet they are on high demand. But one thing about biogas, when it comes out from the system, it has a degree of sulfur, and we know sulfur is quite corrosive, but one way around that is having a desulfurizer to be able to absorb that water and to be able to absorb some of that sulfur. I can say that the operations in this establishment are contributing to quite a number of sustainable development goals. When I look at that biogas in itself, it's contributing to the sustainable goal of clean and affordable energy, as I had previously explained, and also it's contributing to climate action. We have less trees being felled, and of course the energy is clean. I can also say, looking at this entity, poultry in itself is food, the eggs are food, so in so doing, we are contributing to zero hunger. Because out of this poultry, we get the food. We know that our eggs are very nutritious, so when they are there, it implies that several people will be able to benefit in getting nutritious feed using the little available money they have. Same to the vegetables in the farm, which are a very nutritious source of energy, and it makes us to avoid various diseases like marasmus because of too much starch. As a farmer and as a woman, I'm very passionate about youth and women, and especially young women, because I know how vulnerable they are. And so within our environment and as a corporate social responsibility of our farm, we have been able to mobilize 2 women groups. One is called Lukala Women Group. The second group called Ujirani Mwema Women Group. And through writing of proposals, we've been lucky. The Lukala Women Group is has already been identified as one of the groups that will benefit from agriculture project, and the project will be able to give them, to introduce them into aquaculture farming using raised ponds that can easily be made within a small space and in urban areas without using a lot of water. And also they will be able to fund them to be able to raise chicks. Another way of creating impact in society, this farm has been able to bring in, this farm brought in its first batch of students on attachment from January to March. Since the students are now on recess, we are waiting for the next batch. Since we are a company and a one-stop shop on poultry, we have a section for kienyeji, a section for layers, a section for broilers. So by the time they were able to go through that, they were able to have gone through the various requirements and various skills they need to be able to practice poultry farming, and also to be able to advise farmers into poultry farming. As a parting shot, I would say that going green is a good idea, and it can help us save quite a lot as far as our environment is concerned, and also it can reduce the running costs of maintaining our farms and our homes where possible, because the prices of petroleum-based products in Kenya is skyrocketing each and every day.